Okay, so welcome to this informational event. Welcome, Stella. Um, the rest of us here are members of the board of Enhearten and then our intern. And so let's take a few minutes to introduce ourselves to you, Stella, and then also if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, that would be nice as well. So Stella, you and I know each other, but just for the video, I have the joy of having founded Enhearten Unseen Leaders. We incorporated as a nonprofit in 2021, and we've just been developing our program activities and, changing in small ways, keeping the original focus, but just developing things in different ways. Our overall focus is on, like, this came from my own experience in my life of feeling like I had a passion to be involved in hopefully uplifting communities, but I often felt overlooked or kind of blocked out from opportunities. And that was really discouraging for me. And so I really wanted to be able to encourage others who might be in a similar situation. And so all the branches of Enhearten, our giving branch, coaching, and healing, are all there to encourage and uplift leaders with a heart and passion and calling to lift up communities. Um, let's see. Cheryl, can I ask you to introduce yourself, Dr. Love?
Good afternoon, Stella, and for those who are not on the call but will get a chance to watch this video at a later date, I'm Dr. Cheryl Love, and I am the Vice President on the Enhearten board and have been able to be involved in this organization from the beginning and have really watched it just grow in its ability to be able to help folks throughout not only the US, but other countries as well, make an impact within their communities. And so I think that's just a beautiful thing. And my day job is I'm a career counselor at the University of California, Riverside. And so Enhearten is a way for me to be able to continue being of service to others and making an impact in the world. And it's just an honor and a privilege to be involved with this organization.
Thank you. Susan, Dr. Siao, could I ask you to introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Susan Siao. I am a psychology professor. I teach at the same university as Jenny. That's how we met. I have also observed from the beginning when I first heard Jenny talk about Enhearten Unseen Leaders as an idea she had. She had a vision. And so now here we are in 2024, and we've had several cycles of giving out grants, and we have, it's a team effort. Everyone on the board has contributed according to the different strengths and skills and gifts that they have. And so what I want to say is just being there from the beginning and seeing how it has all come together from just being a vision to actually doing it. It's just been such a blessing. And this morning we had an opportunity to gather with some of the recipients of our mini grants or micro grants, and we've had 3 rounds of grants so far. And just to hear these recipients share their experiences with each other, it was just a very exciting time, and that just encouraged me about going forth and doing more. So that's me.
Thank you so much, Susan. Christy, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Christy Yu. My day job is I work in software development. I have been a close friend of Jenny for a very long time. So I've been able to witness some of the struggles that she mentioned. And it's been amazing to see how she's taken this experience from her life and have that motivate and inspire her to create this organization. And I'm just happy to be a small part of it. I'm currently serving as the treasurer of Enhearten.
Thank you so much, Christy. And then I also want to introduce our academic intern. So Elliot is a student at a local university, and the university provides a program for students to be able to help out at businesses or nonprofits as an internship, and the students receive academic credit towards their degree program. So Elliot is our third intern that we've had. And Elliot, could you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a third year at Cal State Fullerton, and uh, I'm nearing the end of the internship. I think it's like about a week left, but it's been really fun just learning a lot about all these different organizations and like just helping out in Enhearten, you know, uh, for the past 9 or so weeks. So yeah, it's been fun, and I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
Thank you so much, Elliot. Stella, if you've seen like some of our social media for the past couple of months, that has all been like designed and carried out by Elliot, which has been just really, really wonderful. Stella, would you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Good morning from India. It's nice to hear all the stories, and actually, this is a first time for me to join this meeting, and I've met Jenny, and I've known her as a friend, but as a vision casting person, it's amazing to know you, Jenny, in this perspective, and I'm so happy that I get to be as you introduced me, just a guest, or yeah, but then as I listen to these stories and the way the Lord has led you into this organization, it's amazing. And I'm so blessed to be part of this movement. Yeah. So thank you so much. So when I saw your email, I thought, okay, should I attend it so early in the morning? Should I attend it? And then I said, okay, let me just log in and see how it goes, So I'm blessed, even listening to you all. I'm just so blessed. And I work with International Childcare Ministries as a global program director. Actually, my heart is for teaching, having completed my PhD in holistic child development. I'm looking forward to the next step where the Lord will lead me. So yeah, so I'm excited for what the Lord will do. So even listening to you is a great blessing. So thanks, Jenny, for inviting me to join this.
Thank you for coming, Stella. And this is the first time we've had this event. So yeah, you're here at our first time doing this. And for everyone else here, Stella mentioned that she's a leader with International Childcare Ministries. It's a like holistic child sponsorship program to help children in many different countries of the world to be able to go to school and have enough food to eat and be able to grow up and be healthy and thrive. Is that would you want to say a little bit more about ICCM?
Well, yeah, so International Childcare Ministry is free Methodist initiative. It's a sponsorship movement. So it is across like 29 countries currently. So I work as I have transitioned out of South Asia, and the current the job title is like overseeing all the programs across all regions. So this is initially and basically sponsoring children for their education, their food, their sometimes in a small way for their stay, for their nurture, and also for like I think till high school, till the child gets through high school, the child is sponsored through this program, and after high school, they are given some vocational training, provided the providing for their funds, and yeah, get on to their feet to work and earn and their livelihood. So it's basically a sponsorship movement that is with free Methodist churches, and it's quite quite a strong initiative, and I'm happy to be part of this movement for the past 10 years now. Yeah, so it's a blessing to work with International Childcare Ministries.
Thank you so much for introducing everybody to ICCM. It's a beautiful, like the work that you do is beautiful. For the board members, I'm going to change the order a little bit of this evening, like from the agenda that I sent you. We want to go next to sharing one of Elliot's videos. So Elliot has been developing what we call Enhearten Stories. He's been interviewing some of our microgrant recipients and producing videos from those interviews. And so today we want to share the most recent one, Enhearten Stories number 5. It's between 4 and 5 minutes long, and it is an interview of Sabrina Gonzalez, who is the leader of a civil rights institute here in Southern California. And you'll hear her describing her organization, her nonprofit, and then how this microgrant was a help and an encouragement to her. So let me get set up for this, and then I'll start it playing, and then we'll come back together after it plays. So enjoy the video, and here it is.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and welcome back to Enhearten Stories number 5. If you're new here, Enhearten Stories is a series in which we interview Enhearten microgrant recipients. And today we're meeting with Sabrina Gonzalez, the Executive Director of the Civil Rights Institute of Southern California. So could you tell us a little bit about your organization?
I am just celebrating my 2-year anniversary as their first ever Executive Director, which I'm very proud and honored that they selected me to be. But this organization was actually co-founded by some Riverside legends, Lali Acharya and Rose Mays. They had this beautiful idea to develop a complex, multi-use space that highlighted our civil rights history of the region, made a dent in the housing and the need for housing in a region, and then found office space for fair housing. So they partnered up with each other as they co-founded this, and then they got some friends on board and connected with some bigger names to start the Civil Rights Institute. And then they collaborated with the Fair Housing Council of Riverside County, as well as Wakeland Housing Job Corporation, to ensure that this 92,000 square foot Mission Heritage Plaza came to life. I just feel very grateful that I was selected to be a part of it. And so that's how I found myself here.
Hey, awesome. How did the Enhearten grant help you and your organization reach your goals?
With Enhearten, we applied for the grant. Our current exhibition, San Bernardino Photography Now, I'm grateful that Thorns Have Roses. That exhibition, we wanted to have that piece as well, because it's photographs, 23 different photographers. And so we're hopeful that we can jumpstart that first Sunday, but we didn't know where we were going to get the funds to do that. And so this Enhearten grant allows us to go back. So we're going to be able to have at least 2 of those first Sundays where we'll be able to pay artists to come in and do workshops that relate to the exhibition and invite community into the space. And so there's that first connection. It will also potentially help us supplement some materials and maybe one of the other panels that we're going to do about the camera being a weapon and understanding like the importance of civil justice and social justice and activism. And so we're very, very excited that this grant is going to allow us to invite community to engage with the exhibition and to continue to build and tell their stories. In this exhibit, we are uplifting San Bernardino. We're telling the story through their lens and their perspective. And one part that made this special is the exhibit is here in Riverside at our location, but we also partnered with the Garcia Center in San Bernardino for the exhibit to be in that space as well. And so this grant is allowing us to have an even bigger impact. It allows folks to say that we are embedded with community because we are getting a community grant. It shows connection, continuity, and it is furthering our reach. We had 350 folks come into our opening night for this exhibition. We plan on having another 200 plus when we open it at the Garcia Center. And so it's just inviting folks to see what Enhearten is doing for the community, and also that we're connected and working to continue to extend those messages of kindness, curiosity, and knowing our regional history. So I think one of the biggest things the grant is going to do is it's going to further that we are trying to do programming to engage with the community. So it sets the tone to say that we can do this in the future. When we do our Homegrown Heroes exhibition, which is the next one after this that comes up in September, we will hopefully already have some folks that are used to coming in for programming. So it will help us build from that. We hope to apply again in the future so that we can continue for programming as our exhibitions change and shift. And I know there's multiple seasons for when you can apply, but seeing that continuity in funding, seeing folks coming in and being excited about it, we're hopeful that it will just continue to impact in a positive way as we move forward.
So great work, Elliot. Oh, wait, sorry, just a moment. Sorry about that. Great work, Elliot, on that video and the other Enhearten Stories videos that you've been working on. It's a joy to get to share the stories of some of the really amazing people and organizations that we've gotten to meet and to connect with. So, and one special part of the work that Sabrina does and our connection with her is that she is fairly local to where we are. And so some of us board members have had the opportunity to visit her site and to see her exhibit, which is beautiful and shows like some of the tremendous like challenges of San Bernardino, but also like the incredible like beauty and strength of people who are highlighted in the photographs and other works of art there. So at this time, we want to share some about the 3 parts of Enhearten, and Stella, feel free to like ask questions or share ideas that might come to mind. And so I want to start with the coaching branch and ask Susan if you could talk some about the coaching branch.
Sure. So one could come to our website and see the what we have posted about coaching, and it describes it as an opportunity for them to look at the skills and strengths that they have, to identify what some of their passions are, their abilities, uh, to consider experiences that they've had, and look at all of those and then consider them all together, and maybe even come up with a vision and even a mission statement for what they're called to do going forth. It's set up so that we have a number of different options for them. For example, I'm looking at I don't want to mislabel them. I know what they are, but just to use our terminology. One of them is a post-it note timeline. That is where the individual can review experiences that they've had in the past and see if there were things that they were learning at different stages of their life. Just identify what what they got from those past experiences that have made them the person that they are today, and how that can affect them going forward. And then we offer the opportunity to take the Strength Finder survey that has multiple questions, and it's I'll call it a standardized survey. There's a lot of research behind it, and after taking the survey, it will provide one with identifying exactly what one's strengths are. And there's labels for those strengths, and then there's research and descriptions of what it means to have that strength. And then we have another option for them to choose, which has to do with core values and their mission and vision for the future. And I like that part, just thinking about one's values, because that will also guide what one wants to do with their life going forward. And so at the beginning of the coaching and the end of the coaching, we do have an orientation. We also have a session where you just have closure and maybe considering next steps. And then we also have an option where if someone wants to be, to consider everything from a faith perspective, we have some options as well, considering insights through prayer and also what it means to be a servant leader. But the first part that I talked about, that would be beneficial to anyone, no matter what their faith background, or if one did not want to consider faith. And then the other two, the prayer and the servant leadership, those are options as well, where one could look at everything from the lens of their faith.
Thank you so much, Susan. Yeah, so the coaching is totally free. It's one-on-one coaching over Zoom. And it is available, like Stella, if you have like people you're mentoring that you think might benefit from Enhearten coaching, it is available. We have availability to do it, and would be more than happy to do that. It's usually about like 10 to 12 sessions, like meeting once a week for a few months. Currently, I'm just finishing up coaching someone from the African country of Malawi. He's an incredible nonprofit leader. I'm sure I've truly learned like absolutely as much from him as anything he's learned from me, but it's been a joy getting to go through this coaching journey with him. Stella, do you have any questions you want to ask about the coaching part of Enhearten?
Jenny, I was actually wondering, like, is there a specific age group or age bar that you have? Or you have any qualifications or criteria to get enrolled in this coachings?
Yeah, those are great questions. I think it's designed for adults, like young adult and up. Maybe like people past high school, like people university age or up. I think that it's not really suited for someone who is in a lot of chaos in their life. Like I think it's well suited for someone who's in a like somewhat stable in their life, but really wanting to learn more about themselves and their sense of calling and what they're passionate about. Is there anything others would want to add to comment on what Stella brought up?
I might add that it's very useful when one's at a crossroads. For example, maybe they're getting ready to graduate, or maybe they're trying to decide on a major. In my case, Jenny coached me, and it was right when I retired. And it helped me confirm what I'm going to do during my retirement years. So even for old people, it helped.
Thank you for sharing that, Susan. And
Yes.
you're not old. Anything else that people want to mention about coaching, or any other questions you have, Stella, about coaching? I'll mention also that coaching is definitely very different from counseling and is also different from mentoring. And coaching focuses on um, asking good questions and like facilitating a conversation through which the person like recognizes for themselves these things about like what they feel called to, what they're passionate about. That like through good questions, we're able to have deep conversations where people can have insights that will really impact their lives in like really meaningful ways, like Susan described. Okay, so next I want to share a little bit about the healing branch of Enhearten. So a few years ago, before we started Enhearten, I myself received coaching through a similar curriculum. Actually, the curriculum we use was written by a friend of mine, and the person who coached me was using an earlier version of that curriculum. Um, I was in like a crossroads in my life trying to figure out what was next. And I had experienced a lot of really discouraging things, and honestly, like some like emotionally abusive leadership in my life, and like spiritually abusive, honestly. And I saw how that affected me, and my friends saw how that affected me. Like people were concerned about me because they could see that like something was going on that was just like causing me to lose my confidence and lose my like normally strong sense of like calling. And um I feel like that experience like almost caused me to like really lose a sense of who I was. And I don't want other people to have to go through that. And when people do go through that, um, I would love to help people to heal from that kind of experience. And so, Enhearten Healing is there to provide resources to people who may have experienced like institutional abuse or leadership abuse in different forms. And so, we have a resource page where there are various blogs and podcasts and books that have impacted some of us, and so we're able to recommend these. Um, we have some blog posts. I wrote a number of posts of things I learned through my own experience that might be helpful to others who might hear something in my story and my reflections that might speak into their situation as well. Um, for people in California, we are able to provide some funding for people to receive a small number of counseling sessions that we would pay for. But currently, we're only able to do that for people who are located in California. And then also for people in California, or for people in the US, we've rolled out a program of being able to fund people to attend workshops that are associated with their own healing and growth. For people internationally, definitely our resource page and blog has some resources that I hope would be helpful to help people who have gone through experiences like this. Is there anything else, like for our board members, anything else about Enhearten Healing that you would want to share?
I know you may have already mentioned it, so sorry, Jenny, but I just want to, I guess, put the exclamation point on it that we've added the piece where people, we're working on it now. It may not completely be on the website, where people can ask for a stipend to attend a conference or workshop or webinar to work on wellness and well-being. And so that's in addition to kind of what we had initially did with the healing branch of Enhearten. And I really just think it's a great addition to what we've already have thought about and have been doing with the healing branch of Enhearten, because there's more conversation around mental health. There's more, I think, conversations around it's okay to seek help if you're struggling with things. And so I'm just really glad that we are taking our healing branch to the next level and providing that opportunity. Yes.
Thank you, Cheryl. We have a board member, Dr. Melissa Suhu, who is a licensed therapist, and she has just been our leader of developing Enhearten Healing. Stella, do you have any questions about the healing branch?
I think at this point, I'm just listening and getting to
Sure.
know this organization. Yeah, and yeah, it's interesting, like the different branches that you have. It's the coaching one. I was also wondering if coaching branch is something called career guidance. I don't know. I'm just wondering if it is that.
It's related to career guidance because it can help people recognize what they're really passionate about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
would call it a first cousin too.
Mhm,
Yeah, because
mhm.
I do, in my role at the University of California, Riverside, that is what I do. I'm a career counselor, and so I provide career guidance to college students. And so the work, the amazing work that Jenny and Susan and Carla, who's one of our board members, who's not on the call this evening, have done in the coaching arena. It is very close to the kind of work I do every day at the University of California, Riverside. So I would say first cousin, and for just an analogy in terms of the kinds of amazing things they're doing with the coaching branch. Mhm.
Okay, so at this time, we'd like to share about the third of the three branches of Enhearten. So the third branch is Enhearten Giving, and Cheryl's going to share about this.
And Elliot, you're just doing amazing work. So I just have to do another shout out to you. I know you're finishing up soon, but you're doing amazing work with your internship. And I really enjoyed watching that video once again. And that video really showcases the micro grant recipient, Sabrina Gonzalez, and the work she's doing for the Civil Rights Institute. It showcases an aspect of the giving branch of Enhearten, and that's the micro grants. We provide micro grants between $500 and $1,000 twice a year to folks who apply and receive the support that we provide through the micro grant process. And that's one aspect of giving. And we have just been so blessed. Stella talking about blessings. We have been so blessed to be in a position to provide micro grants to folks all around the world. So it's not just organizations in the US. And so that's one of the things that I really think makes Enhearten stand out. We're trying to, in our own small way, help folks throughout globally make an impact in their communities And one of the things that my pastor oftentimes says, one of his favorite sayings, where little becomes much. And I think that is very apropos to the work that we're doing with the giving branch of Enhearten, because with $500 to $1,000, we have seen a wide range of organizations be able to have big impact within their communities. And so that's one aspect of the giving branch. And we've been doing that now for a couple of years, and we've been able to hear some really amazing testimonies. And the other aspect is that folks can and have provided financial support to our organization, and the majority of that goes right into being able to provide support to folks through the microgrant cycle that we do twice a year, and we have a cycle coming up real soon. And if you go to our Enhearten website, you would see the opportunity not only to give, but also if you are working within a nonprofit organization and you have an idea, you just need a little seed money to get it off the ground, or you've been toiling in the fields and you just need some more resources to keep the good work that you're doing going. That's where the microgrants come into play. And so there's information about the 2 cycles that we have for microgrants twice a year. There's information about providing donations. No donation is too small to help with the microgrant process. And then one of the things that we started doing, and I'm just really proud of it, is that we have a donor wall for folks who have provided support over the years. They can share why they have done that, why it's important for them to support the very amazing work that we're doing to trying to help others do positive things within their community. And so that's something you would also see if you go and you look at the giving webpage on our Enhearten website. And there's a quote that's on the Enhearten giving webpage, and I was like, oh, it must have been really lots of sleep that day. Is a quote that I did about giving and what we're trying to do with Enhearten. And so I want to read it now, and it goes like this. At its essence, Enhearten giving is about reciprocal support and encouragement, leading to nourishing, loving, and caring relationships so that amazing change can occur to benefit all people. And so that's what the giving branch of Enhearten is all about. And we are just glad that we are in the season where we are trying to really expand on the grants that we give out, and have more and more people aware of the work that we're trying to do. So anyway, that's a little snapshot of the giving branch of Enhearten. Back to you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. I really like what you wrote. Like, that's a beautiful description of Enhearten giving.
Yeah, I must have gotten a lot of rest that particular day when I put that together. But anyway, yes, I think it just does give a nice summary of what the giving branch of our organization is all about. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so as Cheryl shared, we have 2 microgrant cycles per year. So we accept applications leading up to March 15th, and then we accept applications again leading up to September 15th. So our next cycle will be have that deadline of this coming September 15th. And we certainly welcome applications. Oftentimes our grant will be the first funding that a small new nonprofit has received, and we definitely have like a heart and passion for being that first funding to be an encouragement to the nonprofit leader and their team and their organization. But we also fund projects led by more well-established nonprofits as well. But we look for whether our micro grant can like truly make a difference in like being the majority of the funding for a specific project. So if it's a larger nonprofit that is applying, we would want the nonprofit to think about a project that they're going to propose that our micro grant would be able to accomplish or be a significant portion of the funding for it, versus a situation where our micro grant would just sort of become one tiny part of a very large budget. We really want these funds to be able to make a concrete difference in a project being carried out that will uplift a community. And as Cheryl mentioned, this is open to people located anywhere. We do ask that if it's a nonprofit outside of the US, we would require that nonprofit to have an existing partnership with a US nonprofit, so that Enhearten would be giving the funds to the US nonprofit to partner with the international nonprofit. And that's just simply because we're not equipped to like do the steps that would be needed to give funds directly internationally. Is there anything else about Enhearten Giving that we should mention? Stella, do you have any questions or comments on this branch? I know I keep putting you on the spot.
No, I'm okay when you ask me. I mean, yeah. So Jenny, help me understand. Like few months back, like ICCM team received an email saying that Enhearten is out with micro grants. Is there anyone who is wanting to apply in their region? So I'm just wondering, out of curiosity, I want to know if there were any applications that came in from ICCM or any regions.
Not this past March. We've funded in the past a project with In Better Hands. Seth submitted an application. I don't think we've received an ICCM application. So we would love to, so please feel free. We'll send out, like in August, we'll send out a newsletter mentioning that we're currently accepting the applications with the September 15th deadline. So please feel free to encourage colleagues to apply.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you. So we have about 9 more minutes and then we'll wrap up. I wanted to share just a couple next steps for Enhearten as an organization, and then a couple ways that people can get involved. So Enhearten is in our 4th year since incorporation, and we're really trying to scale up our programs and the way we're able to serve nonprofit leaders and organizations and projects. We're hoping to become grant ready as an organization and to begin applying for grants and hopefully be able to receive some additional funding so we can then give that out in micro grants to the kinds of organizations we've been talking about that are uplifting communities. So that's really a next step for us as an organization. As part of that, we also want to invite Friends of Enhearten to consider becoming involved in Enhearten in some ways. Some ways we're looking at are to invite Friends of Enhearten to help us with the interviews that we conduct of applicants for microgrants. So, for example, maybe an Enhearten board member and a friend of Enhearten would work together to conduct a Zoom interview of an applicant. We also do reference checks of our microgrant applicants, and there too, a board member and a friend of Enhearten could partner in that reference check process. I'm really looking forward to carrying out that idea because I love seeing really like what's happening here. Like Friends of Enhearten and Enhearten team members get to meet one another and just be like encouraged and inspired by one another. So those are some ways to be involved with Enhearten. Other board members, are there other next steps or ways to get involved that you would want to highlight? Okay. Um, okay, so we also wanted to provide a little bit of Q&A time. I know we've done that throughout, but Stella, do you have other questions or other things you want to share?
I have one question, and if you don't mind answering, and is it interdenominational organization, or is it connected with some particular organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we are actually not a faith-based organization. We serve everybody, and all of our programming is not specifically faith-based. Various board members have faith commitments, but as an organization, we're a public charity here in the state of California, just really passionate about inclusively inviting everybody to be a part of our programs.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm asking too many things because I want to learn about this organization, and this being the first time of joining, and it's encouraging to hear several things that the Lord is doing since it has begun.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your questions, so thank you. Is there
You too.
anything else that you want to ask about?
I think I'm fine.
Then I think I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Cheryl Love, and she'll give some closing thoughts. And I just want to say though, Stella, thank you so much for being part of this today. It's really nice getting to see you again over Zoom, and I really appreciate your being here and all that you shared as well.
Yes, I will say as I conclude, thank you so much, Stella, because I know you're starting your day really early, 6 o'clock in the morning, your time at India. So thank you so much for being on the call and listening to what Enhearten is all about. And for those of you who were not able to join us today, this session is being recorded, and we'll be sending it out to folks on our listserv so you can learn more about Enhearten Unseen Leaders and the work that we are trying to do globally. And so hopefully you will be inspired about what you heard once you listen to the Zoom taping, and we'll reach out if you feel inspired to be involved in any of the ways that We have mentioned that you can be involved, and if nothing else, tell others about Enhearten and our 3 amazing branches, because we really are trying to get more people to be aware of who we are and what we can do to help you in your community as you try to make a positive impact in the world. And so again, thank you, Stella, for being on the call today. And for those who are not, we hope after you hear the wonderful things that we talked about this evening, that you will engage with us. So take care, be well, be safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you again, Stella, and thank you to the Enhearten team for being here for this time.
Thank you.